Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims presents Big Pauly's Bits for today, December the 19th, 2020. And hello again let me try that again. Hello again, everybody. This is Big Pauly coming to you. So I thought I would do one of these Big Pauly bits before 2020 concludes. I wanted to get you up to date on the projects. Wanted to say hello to my new subscribers. We're up to 91 subscribers on the channel, including Sportsman Z, who have found me on Twitter. And Twitter is a brand new endeavor for me. Well, not really, but I mean for the World of Sports Sims it is. So let me share my Twitter address for those of you who didn't catch it. There it is. BPWOSS. Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims. That's how I roll. So let me get you all caught up with the projects I'm working on. If you are watching this prior to 6:30 or 7 o'clock on the 19th, Dave Gardner's having a chat. I will endeavor to be there. Be him, Uncle Ron, Al Red Sox fan, and I think he has a special guest. And that's probably I don't know, Dave. I could be wrong about this as I put my remote over here. Could be his final chat of the year. And then again, it's December 19th, so who knows? But I want to get you all caught up to date with my endeavors because some of you watch my HGFL games and some of you watch my franchise hockey manager endeavors, such as they are, and some of you watch Grand Slam Wrestling and some of you watch my OOTP stuff. So I thought I would just do a little omnibus here and tell you how I'm doing and the future of all these projects. The HDFL is going to be drawing to a close. The championship game right now is looking at January 15th of Friday night to do that. I will try to do that live in front of studio audience, as they used to say in the old days of comedy on TV. Do they say that anymore with modern comedies? Like, I couldn't tell you a modern comedy on network TV to save my life, but do they say da 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 is filmed before a live audience? Of course, nobody films anymore, or do they? But I'll get you up to date. Well, I already am getting you up to date on my various projects. The HTFL, like I said, just completed the regular season. I saw that last game, Cleveland and Seattle, went up last night. Actually, did it Thursday, but I'd like to do the games a day in advance. The next 4 weeks, we're going to do the playoffs. We're going to take the first round of the playoffs, do it over 2 weeks, 4 games Christmas week, 4 games New Year's week, so all of you can enjoy your own lives. And I totally get that. And I'm going to do the Christmas Eve and the New Year's Eve games. I'm going to put them up early, like say 12, 1 o'clock. And then the week after New Year's, we'll do the 4 quarterfinal games, the division finals, and then do the semifinals and finals the same week. I'm already thinking about changes for HTFL Season 2. I don't like the fact that we had 7 and 9 teams making the playoffs, and we had at least one 9 and 7 team not make the playoffs in Denver. So I'm thinking Season 2 of maybe a geographically correct grid of 4 divisions of 8. Like we have Dallas, Miami, and Tampa Bay all playing in the South. You have, Pittsburgh and New York and New England all playing in the East, and kind of make it more geographically correct. And have 16 teams make the playoffs, but it's the 4 division winners, and then it's a battle royal for the 12 wild card spots. I still like the concept of having 16 teams because if you have 16 teams, nobody gets a bye, and I think that's one of the things that kills the playoffs of the NFL is that you have teams that have byes. I think everybody should play the same number of games to try to win the Super Bowl. The NFL made a little bit of an advancement this year with going to 14 teams at the playoff, but I think 16 would be the perfect number for them. I know you play 16 games just to eliminate 16 teams. I like 16. 16 to me is like the perfect number, and that's what I wish the college football playoff would do: is just include the division champions, then decide who the best of the rest are, and put them in a 16-team tournament. Now, a year like this, college football really got kicked in the where with COVID. And you know it's a weird college football year when you have one of the best teams in college football right now playing right now. I'm looking at Clemson and Notre Dame playing the ACC championship in Charlotte, and one of the best teams doesn't even want to play for the national championship in Notre Dame. So you know it's a strange year when you have that happen. And I was saying on Twitter that that's very reminiscent of Marquette. Marquette was coached by Al McGuire back in the early 70s, and there was one year where they said, screw it, we're not playing in the NCAA tournament, we're going to play in the NIT. And of course, the NCAA said after that, this was like back when, well, you don't know, some of you may not know this, that back before 76, it was basically a tournament of champions. If you won your conference, you made the NCAA tournament. And Marquette was an independent, and they said, screw it, we're not going to play in the NCAAs, we're going to play in the NITs, because Al McGuire was from New York. Of course, he went on and was a great commentator on NBC with Dick Enberg and Billy Packer. But he said, screw it, we're not going to play in the NCAAs. And then the NCAA changed the rule the following season, saying if you get a bid to play in our tournament, oh, you can't go to the NIT. Of course, this was back when the NIT was still a somewhat prestigious tournament. But Notre Dame really showing that they have some clout in the college football game, doing this and saying, "Hey, we might not even play in the playoff." It just shows you how a strange year it's been in college football. To the other projects that I'm doing, Franchise Hockey Manager 7 just came out. Now, see, I'm not a big fan of getting a game right away. I like to wait. I like to see what the response is to franchise hockey manager before I get it. We might go on a little bit of a hiatus with the Brass Bonanza series if I am able. Now I don't know if this is true or not because I haven't had back-to-back franchise hockey manager programs yet. But I imagine it would work like OOTP, where if you're playing, say you had OOTP 20, and you want one of your saves to play on OOTP 21, you could do that. If Franchise Hockey Manager 7 could take one of my FHM 6 saves, which is the Hartford Whalers series, then we'll just continue it on with 7. If not, we'll just do something else. I would love to do the Tampa Bay Lightning from when they started up in 92, 93 to the present day, and do that. As I scratch myself, sorry, I'm scratching my shoulder. Don't get any ideas. On to OOTP. We're going to keep doing that, doing the perfect team until OOTP 22 comes out, which will probably be sometime March or April, I would think, not knowing what OOTP Developments has in mind. Of course, they were just bought by a Korean company. Best wishes to the OOTP crew. I listen to their podcast every week. Grand Slam Wrestling comes back. I'm hoping to get it going again by sometime between Christmas and New Year's. Might be closer to New Year's or just beyond, because I am taking the rankings and I am redoing them, trying to make it into an ELO format, which I used to use for Grand Slam Wrestling, and then I went away with it. And now I'm going to come back and we're going to do matches of the week. And sometimes I just get in these moods where I just play like several weeks, like in like a 1 or 2 week span. And as the weeks go by, I'll have the matches up, and I might do some extra stuff with that. Extra stuff like show you how I rank everybody. Wrestling is not really something where rankings have ever been big. It's just whoever they want to push to the title goes for the title, and that's how stars are made. Rankings is just a hoop to jump. That wrestling doesn't really have to go through like boxing does, and you don't keep score of who's good and who's not in wrestling than you do in the other sports. But that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it fun. It doesn't. Not everything has to be the same in life. Not everything has to be orderly. And of course, wrestling is a bit of a storyline driven entertainment form anyway. So there you go. Other projects I might do, I would love to do, and I'm kind of wondering if I can do it because Action PC Golf will probably be updated around the time of the Masters that's just assuming that we don't go to another lockdown again and the sporting schedule goes back to normal as it was in 2019 and 2021. If we, after the HTFL, I am thinking about doing the greats of all time. I have the greats of all time set with Action PC Golf, and I've had it for years. But instead of doing a stroke play tournament like you always do, I'm thinking of doing like 6 match play tournaments. Now, match play, as Uncle Ron will tell you, and hello to Uncle Ron, hello to Digital Dice Crew, Al Red Sox fan, and everybody else that's watching this, as I sip on some water here and kind of use it as a moment to collect my thoughts. Match play is kind of a very unique tournament because not the best golfer as you would perceive it in stroke play doesn't always win. Like if you have a PGA tournament, somebody you've never heard of could beat somebody you've also never heard of for the championship. The PGA championship, which is one of the 4 majors here in North America, that's how they used to decide it. Is they used to have match play determine their champion. Although I think they went away from that sometime in the 50s or 60s. But what if you did 6 match play tournaments? Like, you use the greats of all time, and maybe you have a tournament at the start where you get some, random golfers in and they try to qualify, and you have the 4 majors, and then you have some sort of championship at the end. Maybe I'm thinking about doing something like that, but we'll see. HTFL I'm not going to tackle again until the fall of 2021, and but the franchise hockey manager, I don't know what the future will hold for that. Grand Slam wrestling I'm going to keep doing. I think that's a lock at this point, and as long as I'm doing something, this channel will go on. So I just wanted to touch base with you all, talk to you these last 12 and a half minutes or so. Most importantly, before I go, I wanted to wish everybody, because like I said, some of you watch my OOTP stuff, some of you watch my HTFL, my GSW, and my franchise hockey manager, and some of you just watched that one thing. But I just wanted to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas, and whatever other holiday you might be celebrating that substitutes for Christmas, and all the best in 2021. We finally get rid of this crazy year. And it's been a crazy, if it's been a crazy year in my life, I'm sure it's been a crazy year for you. God willing, hopefully things get better in 2021. I would hope that after this year, which has kind of eclipsed 1968 as the craziest year in a lot of our existences, that things get better. And I truly wish that for myself and for all of you. And with that, I will bid you adieu. Godspeed and God bless. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I'll be back during Christmas week and to do the HTFL games and some of the other stuff, but I just wanted to do this as a nice little year ender and bid you all farewell. Bye bye for now, everybody.